An interesting phenomena begins to happen as you engage or walk down the spiritual path. The illusion no longer looks real. And in a sense, that is the most liberating thing, because now you're free. You're not pulled and tugged by physical form. On the flip side of that, it has a very interesting consequence. We're no longer satisfied, stimulated, attracted, drawn to the physical form. And at first this can be quite scary, because it's like a snake shedding its skin. Our old self begins to peel off, and the things that normally interested us no longer drive or motivate us. And what drives and motivates most people, especially people that are trapped in ego, is strengthening the ego. So more money, power, status, women, men, relationships, possessions, clothes, all these things. Men and women do make extraordinary sacrifices, build incredible monuments, and exert tremendous resources and life energy towards strengthening and building up the ego. And the saddest thing is, after they've accomplished whatever they set out to achieve, a new desire pops up, because that doesn't satisfy. And the beautiful thing is when we start stripping away at our false identity, or the identity we've been given from a very young age and taught who we are, and conditioned, social conditioning, and just basically how to behave in this kind of chaotic, mad world. After we strip that away, it becomes very raw and unfamiliar. And there's the tendency to run back to the known. So many people will try the path of enlightenment or the spiritual path, and it just feels like an addict going off their drugs. They want that fix. They need that high. And boredom is probably the first indicator, or a really good indicator, that one is no longer finding fulfillment or satisfaction like they once did in the physical realm. Just with all the entertainment and meaningless distractions and idle chit-chat and television and the whole plethora of things that normally busied our mind and distracted us and kind of gave us the false illusion that we're happy, or we're content, or we're feeling not bored. And those things, it's a beautiful thing, and misunderstood can lead many people astray, because as those things fall away, we think we're losing our identity, our false identity. And it's like being naked again. Where do we go from here? What do we do? And if it's handled right, it is the most liberating, beautiful experience. And this shedding has many faces. It can be sadness. It can be melancholy. It can be sometimes even anger. It could be disappointment. It can be frustration, boredom. All these emotions start to bubble to the surface, and they're no longer being medicated or using aspirin to numb the pain. We're actually facing face to face with what normally caused us inner turmoil or angst or sadness, instead of burying it and distracting ourselves. And this is the pattern of most of Western civilization especially, is we are constantly distracting ourselves from our own feelings, from the mind, and from our true nature. And the soul is the greatest feedback mechanism there is. It'll feel sad, it'll feel joy, it'll feel frustration and anger, all these, the whole gamut of emotions it'll feel. And normally what we do is we want to fight it. We want to fight it, and then we want to distract ourselves and not feel it. And as you become more raw and more naked, the greatest gift you can give your spirit, your soul, your whole being is to embrace, is to take all these emotions and all these things that are bubbling to the surface and not resist them and say, hey, thank God this is here. Means something I need to learn. There means something I need to grow, or it's a valuable experience. It's a valuable feedback. It's a valuable guidance in coaching and telling me where I need to go. Because what's in your heart, it doesn't lie to you. It'll tell you exactly what's you're on course in your life, what you're off course, what you need to shed away, what you need to move toward. And it's the greatest compass ever invented. So embracing all of that, embracing every emotion that we have, every feeling, and not running from it. We're so conditioned that we always want to feel good. We always want to feel happy. Especially in the spiritual path, that's the whole purpose, is we want joy, we want happiness, and most of us move to the spiritual path because we're tired of suffering. Suffering is a gift in disguise. The painful emotions, the sadness, and all those things help us further shed the skin and get to our true nature. And one of the magnificent things to do when you're experiencing, whether it's the pain body, you're feeling internal pain, or any type of resistance or negative emotion, is to really find a place to sit still and just welcome it, embrace it, and even be thankful for it. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but be thankful for whatever emotion that you're feeling at the present moment. And when you accept it, it creates a spaciousness. It no longer kind of dominates you. It's almost like when you accept it, you welcome it, its job has been done. Its message has been delivered. And when we resist it, kind of like when we resist anything in life, if you're arguing with someone or you're resisting a highly egoic person, that really strengthens the ego. And when we resist our feedback, our spiritual feedback mechanism, it's like, the lesson will keep coming again and again and again and again and again. And we get in this habit pattern, and we are under the false premise that if we resist whatever emotion we're feeling, it'll vacate, it'll leave us. And usually these emotions come when we look outside of ourselves for happiness, for inner peace, for contentment, for joy. We become dependent on a fragile and fluctuating and temporal, ephemeral world that's just in constant state of decay. We look to that as a way to complete us. And whether it's a relationship, a job, a new house, a new car, whatever. I mean, we all have our list. More food. So taking that and saying, hey, here is a great opportunity, because everything I need for contentment, for happiness and joy is within. And let those emotions bring you inward. And just find a place where you can practice stillness so you can connect and be at one, non-resistant with these emotions. Thanks for listening.